Hi guys, I'm Cami. I did my final project on Renaissance makeup and fashion, specifically in the Northern European and Italian regions. And the reason I chose to do my project on this was because that Renaissance art and beauty standards were closely linked. Artists often depicted idealized versions of beauty in their paintings, which influenced how people wanted to look. Um, so people would go to great lengths to um, emulate the looks seen in art, even if it meant using harmful substances or wearing uncomfortable clothing. So the art of the time didn't just reflect beauty standards, it also helped create and reinforce them. So I kind of wanted to go a little more into that, not because I'm specifically a very like makeup-y girl, because I'm not, but I just thought it would be interesting and something that maybe we haven't seen before or had a project done on before. So to begin, I have Northern European makeup. Um, I have an example right here below me, but Northern European Renaissance makeup was all about a natural and modest look, um, even though it definitely wasn't any of that. The women aimed for pale skin, which was a sign of nobility and wealth since it indicated they didn't have to work outside. They used lead-based powders to achieve this, despite the health risks. Eyebrows were often plucked thin, and lips were kept natural or lightly tinted with red. The overall goal was to look pure and um, reflecting the this reflected the cultural and religious values of the time. In addition to this, they did pluck their hairlines to create a higher forehead, which was considered a sign of intelligence and beauty because it made their brain look bigger. All right, Northern European fashion. Um, the Northern European Renaissance fashion was characterized by elaborate and luxurious clothing, reflecting the wealth and status of the wearer. Both men and women wore clothes made from rich and expensive fabrics like velvet, silk, and brocade, often covered in intricate embroidery, lace, and jewels. Women's dresses featured fitted bodices, full skirts, and elaborate sleeves, often with layers to add volume. They had a high waistline, also known as the empire waist, um, which was popular along with the square necklines and ruffled collars. They had accessories like hats, gloves, and belts, um, and they often um, wore elaborate versions of these, very bold. And this overall style emphasized attention to detail and reflected the cultural emphasis on display of social status during the Renaissance. Moving on to the Italian region. Italian Renaissance makeup was also about achieving a fair and natural look, but it had its own unique parts. Women used a variety of natural ingredients like white lead, chalk, and even egg whites to create the pale complexion that's seen. They often added a slight pink tint to their cheek with natural dyes, like roots and different things like that. Eyebrows were kept natural but well groomed, and lips were tinted with subtle red hues. A key feature was the emphasis of a smooth and flawless look, which was seen as a sign of beauty and purity. Hair was often styled elaborately with braids, curls, and sometimes decorated with jewels and ribbons to complete that elegant appearance. Italian fashion was super elegant and luxurious. The woman wore dresses in or dressed in fitted bodices and full skirts, like very much like the Northern European fashion. but they did have more to their sleeves. They often have, like you can see in this picture, puffed up sleeves instead of just layered sleeves. Um, and they were also adorned with different embroidery and jewels sewn onto the fabrics. Um, and then they also accessorized with accessorized with hats, gloves, and belts. And the whole point was to show that wealth and status, which seems to be a common theme with makeup and the fashion. Talking a little about beauty standards. The beauty standards of the Renaissance um, had a significant impact on daily life and sometimes led to health risks. For instance, we talked about how they wanted pale skin and how they used white lead based makeup, which was super toxic and could cause serious health issues over time. Similarly, they used mercury to achieve a smooth complexion, which also posed health risks, as well as tight corsets to achieve their desired silhouette, which could cause breathing problems and even crazier, could deform internal organs. The emphasis on elaborate hairstyles and healthy clothing could be uncomfortable or I don't know why I put healthy. Heavy clothing could be uncomfortable and impractical in hot places. But this just goes to show that these practices um, deep or show how deeply people were influenced by societal expectations and the lengths they would go to conform to them, even at the expense of their health. Um, this was my shot at it. I tried to do a little Northern European and a little Italian moment. I don't really have the supplies to do this very well, but I tried my best. I tried to do, as you can see, the Northern European, a more pale face with powdered and more tinted lips and cheeks with that signature beauty mark and the high arched eyebrows. For the Italian, it is a more natural look, I guess, with the darker hue of cheeks and lips and the more filled in natural eyebrows. And then here are my sources. This was such a fun project, and I was glad I was able to connect something I enjoy with um, Renaissance art and this class for my final project. So thank you.